Hi, everybody. We are live. Here, let's move it back here and then oops, sorry. Then we'll bring up the chart in just a second. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming and sorry we're a few minutes late. Please welcome Valerie from Illumination Portal. Thanks for being here, Valerie. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's Friday. It's Friday, right? So thank you everybody for joining us. And Valerie is a very talented psychic astrologer, and she has some information about the planetary happenings that is going on right now. And she started to tell me a little bit about it. And I said, is there any chance we can bring up a chart? So we're having a little difficulty with the pointer, but if you can just follow us, we'll say the top right or the bottom left, or we'll try and guide you that way. Hi, Melinda Salinas, Christy Tobin, and Pierrette. Hi, everybody. Indigo Jaguar and Siwi and Viviani. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Very nice.
Oh, how sweet. Thank you. Wow.
Yes. So, Val, would it be best to go ahead and start with the actual? Well, what I wanted to find out from you is, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you just a few simple questions to get started while everybody is filing in.
Sure.
So, when we say our sun sign, that's what our planet was in at the time that we were born, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, what is the rising? What is the rising? What does that mean?
Okay, the rising is in the east. Okay, so you gotta like flip from the earth view to the space view, right? So the moment you took your first breath, what sign was coming on the east side of us? I guess that's the best way to explain it. So we all have, and that's very important. People think it's just your sun sign, but it's not really. All 12 signs are very important in our charts, but your rising sign is you, like you animated, because that first breath, right, animates us into
Oh,
life. So we become that that energy, like I'm an Aquarius rising sign. Now I didn't know that most of my life. I was a Cancer sun, and I figured that was it, but I would read the Cancer sun and I'd be like, this doesn't really make sense. Please forgive my dog, who of course has to drink right now.
yeah, she's fine. I can barely hear it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So it it's just it's amazing. We have this combination of energies, and it's all unique. Each chart is unique. We are truly unique beings. Now our chart is one, it's our blueprint for life from God, from the universe.
Wow.
And what we do with that is truly, that's half of the battle, but the other half is how we implement our life. How do you want your life to be? And utilizing those energies in your chart to create that life you want, because you wouldn't have those desires or those thoughts or those longings if it wasn't something that you were already able to do. I guess is the best way to say it.
Interesting. Interesting.
It
So,
really.
I just a little bit off topic. I wanted to kind of mention something to you.
Mm.
And it's interesting because somebody asked me if they were to be, when they were going to have a baby, when are we going to start a family? And I said, I can feel there's a soul on the other side that is waiting to come in. So I could
Mhm,
feel that energy. And
mhm.
I said, it feels like they're going to play double dutch. Do you know what double dutch is? That, like, that jump rope thing where you go like this, you go like this, you go like this, and you wait for the timing. You wait for
Yeah,
the two ropes where
mm,
there's a time to jump in. And I felt like somebody was like, wait, like kind of just dodging the ropes and waiting for the perfect moment to jump in where it would be a good time to start in the game. And
Yeah.
I was dying to tell you that to see if that meant anything to you. Does that I mean, that must be, I mean, it would be amazing if that's what we did when we our souls coming into this life. It's
Yeah.
just
I agree. We do that. And I didn't think that was, I thought everything was random. But on the other side, before we decide to come in and live another lifetime, there's a lot of preparation in that. And I I've seen by my guides where they you pick a certain time frame, but there's so much more to it besides where the planets are, right? As a soul, where we have an objective. But if we come in during this certain set of planets, we can go for our objective, you know. Um, it is really cool though to think, hey, I'm waiting for this perfect. uh, it's almost like a
an
suit.
opening,
Yeah,
a balance. Yeah.
yep, it is really cool.
It is, and, everything happens for a reason. I feel as though that our lives are planned a little bit more than what we think they may, or at least are the entry here,
Yeah.
and, it's really amazing.
Mhm.
Oh, the chromosomes are here. Hi, girls. Hi, ladies. Priscilla and Heather, how are you? And Junisphere and Indigo Jaguar. Viviani and Dream Detective Kate. I saw Dream Detective Kate on with Deb H. Purple Elephant today when
Mhm.
they had a special guest and
Tabitha.
um,
Yeah,
Tabitha.
yeah.
And it was such a beautiful discussion. It had me riveted. I was on the edge of my seat. I was working, mind you, and I had a lot of like busy work to do. So I was
Mhm.
like listening to it while I was doing my work. And it was very, very well done. And I encourage everybody, if you haven't seen it yet, go run over to Deb H. Purple Elephant's channel and check it out. They do such really beautiful work over there, and it's so heartfelt, so heartwarming. It's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the energy, they're, just all of us. I just love us all. We're just, it's so nice to have a crew that we can actually relate to and have someone to speak to about all these different, crazy topics, quote unquote. But we know that they're not crazy. We're just, I don't know, it's just
Yeah.
beautiful. I
And
think it's beautiful.
we all grow. Yes, the fairy garden. And we all grow
Mhm,
um when we share our knowledge, when we share our experiences, when we share our stories. And it's just really important to share, to talk about, you know, just beautiful, beautiful experiences.
mhm,
So Val, so the sun, the rising, the jump rope, and there was one more thing I wanted to ask you before we got in. Um, so there is a chart that that is filled. It's 12 houses, right? And each
mhm,
house has a sort of an energy about it. Like
mhm,
one would be career, one would be love life, one would be like there's
mhm,
like energies. And then within those 12 houses, there are degrees and then
mhm,
there's seconds. Is
mhm.
is that how I
Minutes,
mean, so the
uh,
degrees. Mhm.
yeah, minutes and seconds. Minutes.
Oh, it's
Uh,
not degrees.
no, degrees are the numbers. So, like, say today is a 17 degree Sagittarius. Okay, so that's and you and it, and this is really cool too because this is where you add in more of our mystical discussions, because 7 plus 1 is 8. So what does the number 8 mean? And you can look up Sabian symbols. You could just Google 17 degree Sagittarius Sabian symbol, and it'll give you an idea of what that degree feels like.
Oh,
So it's really, really cool. Um, but each degree, you know, uh, well, they do have seconds, minutes. I mean, minutes. The Sorry, I just lost my train
So
of
the degrees are with the planet or the degrees are with the house?
with the planet. So right now, Sagittarius is the house throughout the world. Sagittarius is at 17 degrees now. Maybe in the southern hemisphere, it's already turned to 18, but the house constantly changes. Like when we were talking about the rising sign a minute ago, that there's 12 signs, there's 24 hours in a day. So each sign is in that rising spot for 2 hours. So just think how random but not random that is, because
Wow. So they are moving constantly. Oh
mhm,
my gosh.
mhm. It's constant,
Wow.
constant movement, constant. And we're just in one part of the Milky Way galaxy with our solar system that has all these other systems, and we have the great central sun. We have our sun. We have suns that vibe off of each other to pour in more energy here. I really like the outer planets and the outer anomalies. Like I was telling you before, during the month of December, we have okay, we're in Sagittarius season, and 12 degrees of Sagittarius is the great attractor. Now, that's a massive anomaly out that pours in energy from space. And also, we can, I use this energy a lot to release, but it is also pouring in. But then 27 degrees Sagittarius is the galactic center, which most of us probably heard about that. The great attractor isn't as talked about, but I just love knowing that we're kind of sandwiched in between these two huge anomalies, right?
Wow.
Very magical energy. Um, and, you know, Sagittarius is the archer. He's pointing his arrow and he's always got something in the works, a fire sign, always creating and really ready to go and travel and explore and research and everything. And it to me is, we're going up. Okay, we as humanity now we celebrate Christmas. Before it was Yule, those types of things. And there's a reason. This time of year is kind of quieted down. Of course, it's really not like that now with all the shopping and all that. But this is a really good time. What I'm trying to say is to go inward, to go in and really get in touch with yourself and your heart and figure out where you want to aim. We're all thinking about the new year and what's going to happen, and New Year's resolutions and things like that. But these energies now, and especially I would just go back to 2020 from the pandemic to now, is really, I mean, this is, well, obviously, we've never been in this space and time before, but literally, we've never been in this space before. I mean, our solar system is traveling through, spiraling through. We've never been here before. Where we are talking right now, our planet has never been there before. It is just crazy,
Wow.
when you think about it. So we are opening up to, and look how many people are waking up and becoming heart centered and soul centered, and um, just really want that loving, unconditional loving, um, beautiful, harmonious, peaceful planet that we can all live on and share, and be ourselves and not have to play and all that other. And I'm not trying to say we're better than, but those energies are lower vibrational. They've had us held hostage here for a while, but we're here to evolve out of that, So it's just a really good time, and it's very magical right now, especially now.
So Kate had a real quick question, if you don't mind. She said the birth chart is like our personality preferences, and the planets either light those qualities or mess them up. I think,
No, I don't think they mess you up. I don't. If something's going to mess you up astrologically, it's going to be a hard transit. Say you have, uh, goodness, Pluto, which stays in a sign for a very long time, sitting on your sun. You're going to go through some changes. I've had Pluto sitting on my Saturn for 2 years, and it's still sitting there. And it's just now I could have. Oh, I'm sorry about my dog. I could have. You can't hear him, I hope. Oh, good, good. Um, that Pluto sitting on my Saturn is in the 12th house in my chart, and that's a really hard space. That's the 12th house is really spiritual. It's the house of Pisces. Okay, so when we break down the pieces of the pie, the first house is Aries, ready to go, all head. Where are we going? Let's just do it. We take around to the 12th house. The 12th house is spiritual enlightenment. A lot of people used to just say, or to sum it up, uh, jails, institutions, things like that, because people didn't understand, I don't think, how we go through these spiritual awakenings, and the 12th house is really the house of God. It is not like a derogatory house. But to have a planet in your chart, it could there be challenging planets? Yes. But there's nothing that you can't work through. And I think, all the years I went without knowing my chart, somehow I worked through all those challenges.
Right.
Now,
Right.
if I would have known, maybe I would have had a heads up and I could have worked it, but
Right. Like this is going to be a little bit of a tough, couple of months, and I should not sign any contracts or buy any homes or anything like that.
yeah,
Something just like as an advisory kind of thing.
right.
So, shoot, I just wanted to ask you another thing. Um, oh crap.
Mm.
Sorry.
No,
I just
no,
left me.
okay.
So
But
it was about the planets, obviously. Oh, you are a psychic astrologer, and you also are an intuitive psychic, and you read cards, and you also get messages from your guides,
mhm,
and you incorporate this with your readings
mhm,
of your astrological charts.
mhm. Yeah, when there's a chart up and I'm reading for somebody, and I didn't know this because I would just help my friends. I mean, I knew I was psychic. I knew I knew stuff. I was intuitive, and I was just getting into astrology. And I would read people's charts and things would just light up in front of me. Talk about this, say this, and I would be like, oh, and it just evolved naturally like that. It was really cool. It is I love reading charts. I didn't think I'd ever say that either. I thought you had to be a mathematician or know geometry and know all this. And I mean, I get it. I know the basics of that. I But knowing the houses, the planets, the energies, and where we're at. And if you study astrology, I mean, it goes back thousands of years, and these things happen during these transits. On when COVID happened in December of 2019, we had Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter all in a conjunction, and
And conjunction means they're opposite or they're all together.
we're all together.
Okay.
So they were all together, and they were just hanging out, and before we knew it,
I remember seeing all three of them in the sky together, or at least two of them or something. You
mhm,
couldn't see Pluto, I'm sure.
yeah.
Or could you?
I don't I don't know. I can't say anymore because so many cool things are happening. Who's to say we can't see what I I don't know. We could go really left field on that, but you just
Mhm.
never know. Things are really um evolving in a strange, really unique way, but it's really cool to watch it.
Yeah, I really do think it's going to become more and more mainstream, and I mean that in the kindest sense that we're all going to be, looking at our astrological charts more and more to get information. I think
Mhm.
that it's just proven to have a history and a knowledge base and an awareness. Now that we're awakening and we are looking outside of just the human ego, we're looking outside. We understand there's other things that at play with the spirit world, and we'll become more in tune with the planets and the things that are going on around us. This is
Mhm.
I'm very, very excited about this. So would
And
you like to go ahead and I mean, may I bring the chart up now? Would you like to
oh,
start on to that
oh,
on that? Or did you
yeah.
want to give us a little intro on the full moon?
Well, I was going to just start from the full moon, which just happened on the 7th in Gemini. That was at 16 degrees of Sagittarius. So when it's a full moon, the planets are opposing each other. So Sagittarius and Gemini are opposites, but they're on the wheel together. So that was our full moon. And they're both intellectual planets.
Mm.
They help us, create our our dreams. We're thinking about how are we going to do this? Where are we going to go? What are we doing? Or if you already know, you're trying to fill in the details of how you want things to go. Um, this full moon was unique in the respect that Mars conjuncted came right next to, well, not real close, but it came next to the moon and then went behind it. So Mars is in Gemini. It's retrograde. Mars usually in a sign for 2 months. Mars in Gemini it is going to be there until March. Um,
Wow.
that's 7 months. So he's in a retrograde phase right now. So again, we have this focus on how you want to proceed. Like really think it through. Take your time, go in and feel through this, all the things that are on your plate or in your heart, the things that we have to do opposed to things that we would love to do. It all matters right now because how we take this Gemini energy, the way we think about it, the research, and we plan and we do all that stuff, right? But that Mars is going to stay retrograde until January 12th. Now, the first of the year, Mercury Mercury will be in Capricorn, but he goes retrograde December 29th. So we're starting the first of the year with Mercury and Mars in retrograde.
Wow.
Which is, I mean, it's not bad. I'm not saying these are bad things. It's just still time to go in, get your ducks in a row, line the things up you want to line up for when in the middle to the end of January, that all of that energy will open up to go forward, right? But we have so much. We also have right now, which was on the full moon, Jupiter's in the last degrees of Pisces. Now,
I heard that. That's what I want. Yeah, tell us about that. It's like
29
29 or something, right? Oh my
29
god.
degree Pisces is the
And that's
absolute
the end of the, wheel, right?
yes. So with Jupiter there and Pisces had retrograded back, it went into Aries, then it retrograded back 2 degrees. So we're at 29 and it changes on, sorry, the 20th. It'll, so on the solstice, it is going to be going back into Aries. But until then, what is Pisces 29 degrees? That's the last degree of the zodiac. That's all that energy of the whole zodiac in that number, right? It's powerful. Okay, it is so powerful. And it's Jupiter, which is magnifies things and makes them bigger and is usually very benevolent.
Okay.
It's there for you. Now, that's not going to always be the case for everybody because some people are still learning things on their path, and it might be a little hard for them. But if you are on your path and you know you are, this is really good energy to, this is like being sitting with God, that's how powerful 29-degree Pisces is. It is God,
Wow.
you know, and you are, as a heart-centered being, you are being, to me, the way I see it is like we're being offered, where is it that your heart really wants to go? What do you want to be? Now, I want world peace. I really do. I mean, that's like number one thing for me. So I'm always putting that up there. But that doesn't mean it's not impossible. It is not impossible. And nothing's impossible right now. With that Jupiter, that was in play. Let me see what else I have down. Chiron will go direct. Now, Chiron's our deepest wound. It's in Aries. It's at, I think, about 13 or 14 degrees right now. But he's going to turn direct on the 23rd. So that's going to, whatever we learn from that in our chart, that Chiron wound, we've been working on healing. Like we've had, I know I just had a couple weeks where I was just wiped out. Something came up, it had to be cleared, and it took a little longer than I thought, but that's okay. I think we're kind of used to this by now, but still, when you're in it, you're like, what again? But knowing, this is another thing about knowing the planets and where they are and your chart. Okay, I can see where these things are affecting my chart and what that means in my chart. Like, I wish I could tell everybody on their chart, hey, this is where this energy is for you, but we're here and I'm trying to make it an overall collective, how we're being affected. Let me see. Okay, I told you about Mercury. Mercury will go direct on January 18th. Mars will go direct on January 12th. So I'm saying like at the end of the month, probably really not until February, but March is going to be another big month, right? But this is the preparation for that. Like we've
Wow.
got a lot coming up in March. So personally, preparation preparing, excuse me, for our next adventure, our next, where are we going down the path, and it's really saying to us, don't be random. This is really a time to follow your heart. I mean, I can't say that enough, and I know it sounds, sometimes it was so easier said than done, but it really is important to know where you are, to be solid in your energy column, to be solid in your energy field, to be that heart-centered, soul-centered being. That, but we all have dreams. We're alive here. We're in form. We get to explore Earth. So really make that,
Intentional.
yes. And March
I
is going to be big. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say that we could do things and behave with intentional integrity. And you said that nothing is impossible, and that triggered my infinite possibilities.
Mhm.
I really love that this is such a magical manifestation time, as
Mhm.
well as just a time for us to take care of ourselves and listen to our body's energies. And if our body's energies are not feeling strong or particularly lively, then it's time to take rest and to take care of ourselves and lay low, and
Mhm.
then start again. But all of these things are going through some transitional times,
Mhm.
is what I hear you say, from the December, January, February, just to bring us up into this March, where there's going to be like a thrust or like a
Mhm.
propulsion or like a sort of like a lifting of some denser energies that may have been around.
Yeah, because we're gonna have Saturn going into Pisces. Okay, so again, that's, you want to think of Pisces as the higher spiritual realms, because that's what it is. It is, it rules that. But then we have Pluto going in, leaving Capricorn and going into Aquarius. Now, the last time Pluto was in Aquarius was 240. 8 years ago. Actually, during America's when our Constitution was written. And isn't that ironic how the Constitution keeps coming up? But still, it's I mean, America's in its first Pluto return. Okay, in Capricorn, it's 27 degrees Capricorn, which just happened today. It, it Pluto had already came to 27 degrees in February 22nd, and then retrograded again and back to 26 degrees. I think it went to 28, went back only 2 degrees, but it takes a long time. It's been going forward, and it just got out of 26 degrees and is in 27 degrees. Now, see, that's where my Saturn is. My Saturn is 26 degree Capricorn, so I have Pluto sitting on that. And we have, so we're good. Right now we have Pluto in Capricorn, Mars in Gemini, and Chiron in Aries. Now, in United States of America's birth chart, all three of those signs all three of those planets are in the sign that they are now. So
Wow.
that's really intense too, because you have Pluto, Mars, and all this Scorpio energy and these Scorpio eclipses that we have. And Scorpio is still on the South Node, and it's just releasing all of that. All of that did not serve we the people. That's all going to be restructured in the next couple of years, because that really is Pluto coming back and saying, but you said for the people, by the people, and that's not what's going on here in a lot of respects. So those systems will be crashing down. Now, Spirit's here. Well, it doesn't mean that we're going to get wiped out. It doesn't mean money's going to go away, or, whatever's going away. Spirit's here helping us. At the same time, things are dissolving, recreating something that does work. So that's how I see it.
I think it's a new birth. It's a new opportunity you know, um, to reinforce what we started. This yeah, just the whole situation where we are, and the philosophy and the beautiful birth, the chance to do it again and make it right and to
It,
fine tune things. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's normal, right, for countries, because wow, how many Pluto returns has China had, or but look how that's even affecting China right now. That Pluto is really not about being out of integrity. It wants to be in integrity, and it and everybody seems to be afraid of Pluto, but it's nothing to fear unless you're out of integrity. That's the only time to fear Pluto,
Wow.
you
That is interesting. I love the way you put that.
know.
And to be in integrity.
Mm-hmm. And that's, let's face it, we have a whole world full of people who just want to live their lives in peace and harmony, be with their family, be with their pets, be with their,
Experience our life on Earth.
yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. Look,
So did you want to bring up the chart or
if you want to just see, so everyone can have a good look at it. Hi, Ron. Hi,
hi
Kelly.
everybody. Hey Kelly. Hey John. Hey Juno. And Ron, Unconditional Love is here. Lark Kemper is here. And the healing medium Kevin is here. Hi Kevin and Kate and Viviani. Thank you guys for all being here. And John Binney, I think I said you. Miranda, I think I have your question. We're going to do a couple of questions if we have time in the last half.
Sure.
Um, because Valerie is a beautiful reader too. So we're going to just take a couple of questions. And yeah, so this is actually, Val, why don't you go ahead and show and tell them a little bit about what we're looking at?
All right, so you see at the very top of the chart, the moon symbol next to Mars. Okay, that's this chart is from the 7th on the full moon, about 10 minutes after it went direct. Um, that Mars is just going to be hanging out in Gemini, like I said, until um, March, and then it'll go into Cancer. What did I? Yeah. Okay, so that was the last one I thought of. So Saturn is changing signs, Pluto is changing signs, and Mars is changing signs in March. So that's going to be
Wow.
really big, powerful
Change.
energy. So we're kind of like laying the groundwork now. We want to build a solid foundation for these next couple of months. If you don't feel like doing things, or if you want to take off Christmas, whatever it is, follow that feeling, create that foundation, because this year is going to be exciting. It's going to be really exciting once we get past. Now, those planets take a minute, especially Pluto and Saturn, to get solidly in their new sign, and they will retrograde back again. But um, this whole year is like get that foundation solid. So that would be the first thing I was looking at. The south node and the north node. Okay, the north node looks like a horseshoe. Where are we at? Let me see if I can find it. Over here in Taurus with Uranus up here.
Can you say top right, left, east, west?
Yeah, top right, top to the right, where the Taurus symbol is the
Sort of
circle.
like 1 o'clock.
Yes. Thank
Mhm.
you. Thank you. Thank you. So we have that sitting there. Uranus rules Aquarius. Okay, so how we're going into the age of Aquarius. The North Node is pointing us in the direction that we are headed collectively.
Oh,
The South Node is releasing things that no longer serve the collective.
there's nothing in the south node.
Well, the South, um, sorry, Scorpio here. Scorpio at the bottom, very bottom to the left.
Yeah.
That looks like an M with an arrow at the end of it.
Uh-huh.
That is very powerful, because that's releasing all that doesn't serve the collective. It's really helping us remove all this lower vibrational, negative, distorted division. It doesn't look like it right now, but this is what it is doing. It'll be there until May. So these nodes will change in May, and they last about a year and a half in a sign, and they're the opposite signs. Taurus and Scorpio are opposite. So Taurus North
Ah,
Node moving forward with Uranus. What does that? They want to live. Taurus is your everyday um, reality, things you can touch, see, smell, taste, right? And it wants to upgrade it to where it's enjoyable to live, where we don't have all these restrictions and these, Aquarius doesn't like restrictions, and that Uranus is ruled, but rules Aquarius, doesn't want to have these, I guess, for a better part of the world, parasitic systems feeding off of us any further. It's already been a few thousand years. I think we're all done. That's how I look at it. So we're working through that, right? And so that'll change. Those nodes will change in May. Right before those nodes change, though, Scorpio is going to have one more eclipse.
wow.
So that'll be 3 eclipses in Scorpio, and that is also removing, releasing, just transforming, transmuting anything of a lower vibration that has held people down, held people back. So those are the two. Those definitely are the things that I wanted to point out. The North Node, the full moon, obviously, and how the planets are going to be changing, but how this period of time is really important to create that foundation.
So tell us why all of the planets and all of the symbols in black on the inside of the first circle.
Mhm.
Why all of the symbols in black are seem to be all on one side of the wheel. You call it a wheel, right?
Mm. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a natal chart. Yeah. that is where, well, look, this is where we're actually at. Where that sun is, that's where we're at. 2 days ago, that's where the sun was. So see the galactic center is right next to it.
What can you give me a direction? Is
Oh, I'm
it
sorry, right at the very bottom where the IC is, and you see the circles that look like the
okay?
sun.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is another thing here. We have Venus, two things over, is on the galactic center right now. So now Venus again, you're bringing in the things you've loved, the things that you really are passionate about, right? But now you have that added galactic center energy, which is like magical fairy dust all over it, you know? So, and that's how I look at it when we're in between the galactic center and the great attractor. It's just raining down those magical, really fine, higher vibrating energies, but we're so caught up, in the holiday season or this or that, um if people knew, I think if more people knew how much power there was in the month of December, they would use that for,
So our humanity is evolving. Our
yeah,
souls are evolving.
yeah.
Our our situations, our surroundings, our systems are evolving, and they all have a positive push towards a lighter vibration. The
Yeah,
frequency
yeah.
all of these things are happening and possible for all of us.
Oh yeah.
So it really is very optimistic. It's uplifting. It's something to look forward to, and it's something for us to take note of it, for us to make plans for ourselves and to get in touch with our spirits, get in touch with our souls, get in touch with our spirit guides, and
Mm,
really start living a life with our humanity or ego side blended with the spiritual side.
mhm,
And this planetary type of advisory is also related to our spiritual side. It's not just the ego that we are only human and we have blinders on and we're just living this life and life happens to us. That's not what happens. We have
mhm,
guides, and now we have the planetary guides that are becoming more and more important in our trajectory in our own lives. We're going to be considering our spiritual guidance and the planetary guidance. So it's all opening up, and we're expanding and evolving to incorporate all of these things. Did
absolutely. Perfectly stated. That's exactly what's going on. We're spirit is coming closer and closer. Because the density here has been breaking up. I mean, probably last 50 years, but we can feel, especially. I'll just go back to pandemic. It seems like there's a couple of schools of thought of that, but it seems like we were being punished, but we weren't. That spirit came in, and his spirit is clearing, helping us clear these energies, these dense, uh, lower vibrations that wanted to keep us anchored into that lower vibration.
yeah,
Spirit was, no, the call has been out and it's been happening. I think the harmonic convergence happened in 1989. So that was kind of when this all uh, started planetarily, in our solar system, where we were actually, people were waking up, they're, when they say the first wave of volunteers, um, indigos and light workers, love workers, and it was hard. I was alive in, we all were in 89, and nobody was talking like we talk now.
I know.
There was
I
none of
know. Can I switch the view away
it.
from the wheel or
Yeah,
away from the chart?
sure.
So yeah, no, nobody was talking about it, and the internet wasn't out there for and accessible for everybody. So
Right.
all of these tools that are now accessible for us will enable us to utilize all of these energies in a
Mhm.
more personal manner, more precise, more focused manner. Um, yeah, so beautiful.
We're all
Just
getting a call. Like, look how many of us got this call, you know? I mean, within the last 10, 20 years, you just have this, like, now further along the line, and here we are, right? I would have never known that this is where we were um, going.
heading. Yeah,
Yeah, I never knew, you know, and I always wanted freedom for everybody and peace and unconditional love. But people, I don't know about you, but I always heard that I lived in a bubble, you know, get real. That's never going to happen. And I just knew in my heart that it would happen, you know,
hmm,
somehow, some way. I don't know if I'll be here to see it all happen, but and I'm happy that I see the difference today than I saw 20 years ago or 30 years ago, you know. But
absolutely.
it's beautiful.
It is. It is. It's very exciting, and I tell you, I could listen to you for hours. I certainly can, and it's beautiful the information that you have about what's going on and the way that you can relate it to all of us, and you really have a beautiful way of conveying the ideas and the situations, and you have an uplift. You have such an energy of excitement and enthusiasm that is beautiful. It really is beautiful, and I love it. And Valerie did my chart a couple of months ago, and she's like, "I can't wait to show you what I saw in your chart." She was so excited.
I love cards. And I would have never, like I said, I didn't think I was ever, I didn't know that I would like that so much, but because of, I thought I was terrible in math. And I thought I wouldn't understand, and it had to be technical. And it is technical, but at the
But
same time, it's a lot, half spirit, all spirit, really. You know? Well, thank you for
that
all those nice compliments. I appreciate you.
oh, you're
I love
welcome. You're
hanging out with
welcome.
you. I love hanging out with you.
And if somebody would like a chart, their chart done, they can contact you on your YouTube page. Is that okay? I do have your YouTube page in the description, and also I think that the moderators were also popping it in the chat. So I do have a couple of questions already starred. Let me. Are you ready? Can we? Do you?
Oh,
Would you like to go ahead and take a couple of questions and do some
sure.
readings?
Yeah. I
Since
love it.
since I love it that you have such a diverse ability or a skill set, and it all works together. There's no boxes anymore. There's no lines. There's no like labels anymore. And you have a beautiful way of connecting with your guides, and then you use cards as well. Um,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
it's cool. Really
Mm,
cool. All
mm.
right. So the first one I saw was Miranda, and it looks like she started with, "Can you do a reading for me?" I'm wondering about what my ancestors think about our family legacy pharmacy. I'm feeling a lot of guilt and grief. Okay. And then she also just explained a little further. The legacy had died. I meant to say, and her dad retired and didn't become a pharmacist for many reasons. And she wants to know about her um, ancestors, what her ancestors feel about her dad not following the family legacy.
Well, the first thing I got is that your ancestors love you and your dad.
Oh,
And there's no wrong here. You know, that's not all these things aren't as important. I'm not saying that your family's business for 115 years wasn't important, because it was. It was very significant. But the I just keep seeing something else coming up for you. If your dad, if your dad didn't resonate with being a pharmacist, that's good. But see, the last thing our spirit guides and our ancestors want is us to feel guilt and grief. You know, I think But I'm gonna pull some cards. But that was the first thing I got.
Yeah, it definitely. I've heard several times on the other side, one somebody's loved one said, "There's no. It's like a monopoly game. You go down, you play the game, and you come back, and there's no bank accounts over there. There's no cars or homes over there. You know, there's no. There's. It's really just how you interact in life, and that your father chose to follow his heart." And follow his true soul's desire is all they could ask for. The
Mm-hmm.
pharmacy and the legacy are almost in a material sense, and it provided for the family at that time. But
Mm-hmm.
when it no longer was providing happiness, then it was no longer part of the family. Um,
Absolutely. That's
yeah,
exactly what I got. I really don't see anything but them showering love and just like smiling and just wanting to hold you and say that you're perfect where you are right now. And
yeah.
and there's nothing that'll change that.
And Holly Duchesne also said that pharmacy isn't what it used to be. The patients aren't a priority anymore. And it's all about, I don't want to get any strikes. So we know what it's all about, the
Mhm,
big companies and stuff. And
mhm,
it used to be more personalized, little Bobby, hurt his knee. What can I put on it? Or,
mhm,
just home needs, family needs, personal needs,
mhm,
um, five and dime. And in fact, I was just talking to my husband. Do you remember when pharmacies used to have gift shops at Christmas?
mhm,
There's this little Christmas shop. They put out a flyer recently, and I said, "Oh, remember when?" And they have like special candies from all over the world that only come around every Christmas time, and they have special like wines and things and special
mhm,
cakes from all over the world, and this pharmacy has these special gifts, and
mhm.
different specialties. And it used to be almost all the pharmacies used to have little knickknacks that you could buy for gifts. Like it's I think it's definitely, and thank you, Holly, for mentioning that, because it is not what it used to be, for sure.
No, and there's so many okay, there's so many new healing modalities and we're going a lot of people are going back to nature. Not saying that pharmaceuticals won't be important. I'm not saying that. But look, who owns most pharmacies are now corporate, right? There's like what 5, 10 of them that are in every city, everywhere, and the little mom and pops got pushed out anyway. But that doesn't make the mom and pops the failure, or because they didn't sell out, or that's what I was saying about systems and businesses being restructured during this Pluto and Saturn coming up in March. Well, it's been going on for the last. Well, look, when Pluto went into Capricorn in 2008, the very minute to the day was the day the Dow Jones, the stock market dropped like I can't remember 2,000 points or something.
Oh, wow.
The very minute to the day. So these are going to be all these systems and structures are being restructured for a reason. It doesn't mean that your family failed at all. 115 years, I mean, that's absolutely fantastic to have a business and a family for 115 years. Things are changing though.
Yeah.
Times
Yeah.
are changing.
It's something to be proud of, and if it's no longer serving the souls that are here in this family now, then that's fine too. But
Right.
thank you for the question. That was really very interesting, Miranda, to take a look at. So we also have Lightworker here. And Lightworker, I noticed, I watched back and I noticed that I missed your question last time. I apologize. And shoot, it was one of those really fast moving kind of questions. So
Mhm.
I missed it. But thank you for posting your question here. And she wants to know, can you tell me? She said her name is Lisa and she has a male interest, a love interest, Matt, and uh, hmm, what's in store for them both or an ancestor. So let's look and see what's in store for Lisa and Matt. So I'm not sure, Val, you don't really do anything with astrology charts as far as birthdays, do you? Do you have any experience in that? Like some people can tell you a little bit about you according to your birthday.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, she's a her birthday is 5/21, and her friend's birthday is 9/21. Is that what I'm
Yeah,
understanding?
yeah.
Okay, so we have a they're both cusp, but
Hmm.
that you're either 0 or 29 degrees. It's not like you're both. That doesn't really work like that. I mean, maybe in a very, 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 very rare case, depending on the time. Um, so again, she would be Gemini and he would be Libra. Mm, I would say you both are, a lot of air signs going on here. Libra, Gemini. I don't see why it wouldn't go okay. Um, your ancestors just want you to enjoy your life. That's what I got. What do you get?
Well, okay, so her the match between her and Matt, they have similar qualities, which is good as far as their relationship, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
and they both are on cusps. And what is it? And you know what? I didn't ask you. Do you do Vedic or do you do tropical?
I do tropical, but
Okay.
I understand some of Vedic. I mean, there's heliocentric. There's so many different astrologies, but I
So
just.
this would be the tropical definition.
Mhm.
So that's why they're on the cusp right there.
Yeah.
And when you're on a cusp, do you have just more diversity in your personality? What does that mean when you're on the cusp? I
Well,
mean,
it's really that you're at 29 degrees or 0 degrees. Okay, very critical degrees on any sign. Um, doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything derogatory at all. 29, you pretty much have
oh,
the
so some things they're really, really good at, and other things they feel like they're just brand new at.
right,
And some things, some areas you're very confident in and strong in, and other areas, like you may not, you may be able to paint and decorate, but you can't cook. Like
right.
it's just really some things you are really good at, and other things you feel brand new at. So there's a lot of, wow, that's interesting though.
And then you have to, like I said before, where we're really all 12 signs, even if you have empty houses, when a transit is going by and that hits that empty house, it's going to affect you some way. Might be just a little way, and you want a new car. I don't know, anything. Um, there's like when you do the charts for couples, or synastry charts is what they're
Oh,
called.
yeah.
Um, I'm not an expert at that. I can do it to a certain
Hmm.
extent,
Hmm.
but I'm
But
still
right now,
learning.
they don't look like they're in conflict with each other.
No,
They have similarities, and they look like that they would be able to get along well and
yeah,
have similar qualities and similar challenges.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
And I have myself. I'm getting a good vibe of your new your new relationship here. It's feeling like it has a potential for sure.
And it may not look like it right away. You may need to give each other a second chance or a benefit of the doubt, or I kind of feel like somebody. Yeah, I just
Mm,
feel like it may not, it seems like that there's a little bit of a, forward motion, and then, something may come up and interrupt that, and then, somebody may, not be in the picture anymore, and then all of a sudden, they come back and they say, "This was really it was just the timing," in other words. The match is there, it's the timing that you make, so be patient and try not to judge somebody for the timing that they're in. It may be a challenging time for them. It doesn't mean that they are not the right one. It may just be that the timing wasn't right. So keep your
mhm.
options open and say, look, let's give it a break for a few months and see how it goes. Get yourself together, get it, he may be going through a job change or something, or you may be, something may happen in one of your lives, and then I feel as though that it may be revisited and a new opportunity to match up again.
And that is perfect. That fits perfectly in what's going on right now, because this is the time to go in, take these next couple months, take it slow. Even if you feel like he's the one, or he's saying you're the one, take it slow. Let it get a good solid foundation. You know, in the springtime, I feel like things will be clearer on
She's
relationship.
she says, "Yes, that's right. I'm apprehensive. You're you're on the right path with the benefit of the doubt." And he just left his wife a year ago, so we're both in Al-Anon together. Wow. Yeah.
Mm,
It's there may be some more healing to be
yeah,
done there.
yeah,
And yeah, I really love your question, light worker. Thank you very much. And I think it's important, even if we're not in a love romantic relationship, I think it's really important, like between me and you, Val, like it's important for me to give you the benefit of the doubt and to give you grace, and for you to understand that things may fly out of my mouth, and and I may not mean it, or it may not sound right, or and to give each other just a little bit of grace and a little bit of patience, and don't take things so personally, and kind of give it some time, some space, because
yeah.
these are volatile energies in every relationship, is what I mean.
Mhm,
And um even sometimes, we say the sharpest words to the people we love the most,
mhm,
and we don't really mean to.
mhm,
It's not really how we feel, it's just
yeah,
that we didn't get sleep or something.
yeah. And this is this Mars retrograde Gemini, what just went over the moon. That was really can be, you could be snappy, you could be impatient, and things like that. That's why it's really good. Keep feeling your feelings, going in and sorting things out, and giving people time. Al Anon, leaving your wife, things like that takes time, you know. Um, it's not, and everybody is readjusting and regaining their footing for the new future that's coming up. I mean, it's really big, big, big. Like 23, 24, 25, 25, 26. We're gonna have a better feel to, you know, whew, we went through
Right,
that,
right.
But in the meantime, it is being mindful of how you speak, mindful of what you're feeling, mindful, and listening to your body, listening to your heart, listening to, taking that time, taking the
That's
pause.
I love that word, mindful. You're right.
Mhm,
Absolutely. That's a good reminder.
mhm,
And as well as yourself, be patient with yourself and be kind to yourself.
mhm,
If something happens and you really put your foot in your mouth, or, you know, if just try and give yourself a break, like just be kind to yourself and say, you know what, now I know I shouldn't have, reacted that way, and I'll know better next time. Just
mhm,
really, we're all in a very, very sensitive state right now.
mhm,
And it's really important that we hold each other with the highest regard and with tender, you know,
mhm.
tender hands, I guess,
Yeah,
so to speak. Yeah.
it's important. That's how my guides, like the last couple weeks. Grace and ease, grace and ease, grace and ease. Go and ask yourself, what if it was whatever it is you want or you prefer? What if it was simple? What if we didn't have to fight and plan and be strategic and make these elaborate plans? What if it was simple, whatever it is, in grace and ease?
You're right. You're
What
right.
happened to
So I have a couple more questions here. I have Sylvie, and then I have Sweet and Salty.
them?
And I see Nancy there. So Sylvie says, I've been feeling sad and low energy for many weeks, and I don't know why. Will there be better days for me? So if you want to just go
Yeah,
over what we're all going through astrologically. I'm going to tune into Sylvie's energy.
sure, absolutely, Sylvie. It has been very. I mean, just let's just go back to the beginning of COVID. It has been trying. Our bodies, our souls, our hearts, our minds, our emotions have really been put through uh more than we've ever been put through, pretty much since we've been here alive on the planet. Let those feelings, let them come out. Acknowledge them for being sad or low vibrational or low energy. Acknowledge them, love them, sit with them, and and the more you come into that acceptance that we all go through these things, and it's okay. And it's okay to love yourself through all that and say, I'm giving myself the time and the space to just be with this. Nobody wants to sit in low vibrational energy or anger or sadness, but the way spirit works, as soon as you acknowledge it and sit with it and love it and give it grace, give it honor it, it dissipates.
Mm,
So you will, you know,
hmm
and you will do it sooner or later, but you will have better days. Yeah.
hmm Try not to resist it, because when you resist it, it persists. And when you resist it, you magnify it and make it bigger than it may really be. We all go through ebbs and flows, and with the moon gives us, this as well. But what I was also picking up for you, Sylvie, is that you're an empath, and you may be feeling the
Mhm,
collective, the
mhm,
collective sort of dread of, another round of COVID coming around, or another,
mhm,
or the darker days, or you may be just feeling a collective energy, and just say, thank you for the information. This energy is not mine. I appreciate the lesson, and please move on and try and just let it go. Um, yeah, yeah.
mhm. It is. It's hard for empaths. Very hard. Very hard. Because a lot of, I know I did this the last couple of weeks. I thought it was me. I really don't know what happened, but I was down for the count for 2 weeks, processing through, and just anything that came up, I was loving it. I was accepting it. I was being graceful with it and honoring it, you know. Um, but I
Yeah.
don't know why. I don't know if that was an energetic, the world stuff, my around my where I live, that stuff, or if it's just me. So I just approached it like it was all of that. But either way, for me to get through it, I had to acknowledge it and honor it.
Yeah, yeah, we all go through it, definitely. And I feel as though this is a muscle. This is a muscle for us to feel
Mhm,
and get back to our center. Like, it feels like we're knocked off our center, and we're like, whoa, I'm really upset. There's something wrong. I feel it in my gut. There's just something wrong. And
mhm,
for us to like pull us ourselves back up and to find our center, and to do a meditation, and to soak in a salt bath or
mhm,
something, it's that muscle of going from being out of alignment back into alignment. And the more, and this has given us an opportunity to use that muscle, strengthen that muscle, so that the next time we may be knocked aside, or off of our center, we can get up and back into our center a little bit faster, and not hang on to why, and more of that energy.
yeah,
I feel
yeah,
as though there's that muscle for me, that
yeah,
they keep trying to have me. Okay, this is going to come up. We need you to bounce right back up. I think one of our shows we did.
mhm,
There was like that punching bag balloon or something, that
mhm,
the bozo the clown, that you punch him and then he pops
mhm,
right back up. So
yeah.
that's what I was saying, when we're thrown off of our center. And what it means is, when you feel good, when you're in your center, you can really feel it. You can really feel good, so that when you're not feeling that, you can tell you're out of alignment, or off your center.
Oh
And
yeah, definitely. It's and self-care is critical. It's always been, but uh, right now, like you said, salt baths, sage, uh, ground. I constantly have to remind myself to ground and connect to my higher self, and clear that my column of energy. And you know, rocks, crystals. I'm always, like a chunga, you know.
Yeah. Since you're sensitive, all these things will help you, they
Yeah.
will assist you. And we all, like I said, we're all becoming more and more sensitive. Our frequency is rising and we're becoming more and more sensitive.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that means. I don't know. So thank you, Sylvie, for your question. I appreciate it. Can anybody tell? I don't know if the moderators can tell whether that's a troll or not. I can't tell because it's a different link. Oh, they got him. I think it's gone.
Okay, cool.
Sweet and Salty says, "May I have a message from my ancestors, please?" And then after Sweet and Salty, I have Nancy, and I think that will be it. We're over an hour. We're going to try and go. Yeah,
Oh, an ancestor. It's been an ancestors day.
I do see Siwi. Siwi, if you're still here, let me know. And let's do Siwi, Nancy Smith, and we have Sweet and Salty, and that'll be it. Because I think I missed Siwi. Just let me know.
Hmm.
Ancestors for Sweet and Salty.
Hmm. Let's see.
They're saying, listen to our guidance. They're saying, thank you for reaching out to us, being aware of us, and that it'll be a collective effort. That it's important for you to listen to. They'll be guiding you,
Hmm.
and it's sort of I'm getting the saying that it takes a village. That these are trying times, and um, we're going through a transformation, and they're all here supporting us.
Hmm.
They want you to do something. They want you to do a ritual. I'm not sure if it's writing something down or drawing something or painting something. They want something to come through you. And I'm seeing a steer, a bull. It's not a cow bull. I think it's a steer. So I'm not sure if that means anything to you, but that was staring right at me. Cattle, steer. It had horns. I don't know my animals. Though.
Steer, yeah, bull. I think they're the same. I'm not sure. Um, I have, I, I got that. It seems like you're being maybe challenged a little bit right now,
Mm,
and to know that you always have support from your ancestors, your guides, your guardians, and even if it's a little bit, it's a little rough seas right now. Just kind of flow with it. Keep calling on, for assistance. I I got that and this is not a judgment, but that you're not uh, um, noticing or accepting the the guidance. To be more aware that there is guidance available, and um, a lot of times, I know when I was first waking up, I didn't really know if that was true. I didn't know if I believed that. I didn't know, you know, the truth, but feel into your heart and drop into your heart, ask them to guide you, your ancestors, your guides, your guardians, and they will. And listen, as soon as you hear something and it sounds maybe ridiculous to you or nonsensical, stop and take a notice of that and say,
mm,
is this from you? And they'll guide you through that. That's what I'm getting. But
yeah.
that'll
She's saying yes, that she is going through a tough time, and And Linda said that steers are castrated bulls, but I feel as though that you're strong as a bull and to remember your strength. I know, right? You never know what you're going to learn on
I didn't know.
Psychic Channel. But thanks, I didn't know that. I
I
didn't know
didn't
that. That's funny. But hang in there, sweet and salty. We're all on this ride
know.
together, so strap in tight.
Yeah. And
Aw.
then and another thing, make sure you're putting that bubble of love around you. Make sure that you loving yourself and really know that you're guided, guarded, and protected at all times. And pick whatever color resonates with you and see yourself in that bubble, until you feel stronger and you get through these things. But you don't want to feel like you're just out here getting, being tossed around on those seas. You wanna have that strength around you, the bubble of love.
Yep.
Ooh,
She's
yeah,
Scorpio. I'm doing my best. Thank you both. You're welcome, sweet
it's
and salty.
hard. It's been hard
You're
for the
welcome.
Scorpios.
So next I have Nancy Smith. She said, "May I have a message from my guides?" Hi,
Mm,
Nancy. Thanks for your question. And next is Siwi, Ciwi. And if Siwi, you could just let me know if you're still here, because that was a mediumship one. I wanted to make sure she was still here. So Nancy Smith, her guides.
yes.
They're showing me cultivating. They're showing me you getting seedlings ready, that you'll have a big harvest next year. They're saying to put in the work and get started in the manifestation and getting the seeds ready. Um, yeah, and that's it. That's it generally. I hope that. What are you getting, Val?
I
It's
got,
interesting.
there's a new path, and that you're kind of getting. I see you like, is it really here? Is this really my new path? But you know that. You know it in your heart. But just flow with it is what I'm hearing. Flow with it. Again, this is an excellent preparation time for that soil and that foundation, or however you want to look at it, for the next few months. You create the life that you want based on your heart's preferences and desires. And you really have something's opening up for you here. Um,
It was interesting, really beautiful. The
yeah.
baby seedlings that they were showing me and the cultivating that you're going to be doing. And it took me a minute to realize they were talking about manifestation. But yeah, that
Mm,
was really interesting, Nancy. Very nice. And all the best to you. So it does look like maybe Siwi maybe got a phone call or jumped off because we were running over. But maybe Siwi, if you come back tomorrow, I'll be on tomorrow with um, Terry Suzuki from Kiguru Spiritual Journeys and Lady Soul. They were will all three be here together. So talk about high energy, right?
yeah, what time? What time are you going on tomorrow?
It'll be 1 o'clock Eastern and 10 a.m. Uh,
Okay,
West
cool.
Coast. Yeah, Pacific.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. And I'm going to be
Mhm.
on with Ron Unconditional Love tomorrow night from 8:30 on.
Wow.
2:30, yeah,
Wow.
Eastern.
That's really great. So Nancy came back and said, "Okay, working with my guide project manager." Yeah. Your guide is your project manager. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I saw flowing, like water flowing, but it was nice. When you see a nice stream flowing, and it was just like your new path, or it's a calm path. That's what I just heard.
A what?
Calm path.
A
It's a
calming path.
calm path. Yeah,
Oh, the name of your guide is project manager. Wow. Cool.
I like it.
Wow. Yeah. That
I
is
mean,
really, really nice.
oh, that's cool. Project
Well,
manager. So they're helping you out. They help you out. You must have all the I's and T's
So,
crossed.
sorry, Val, but
No,
somebody is asking, do you, will you give us your PayPal and I can put it in the notes and they can come back and get it? Somebody's asking for your, they wanted to make a donation to thank you for
oh,
your
thank you so much.
expertise. So is that something you can send to me? I don't have it up there. I just, and is it on your
No,
YouTube anywhere?
no, I don't know how
Okay.
to do it. Maybe I have it. Maybe we'll go through it. Maybe you know how to
Yeah,
post.
and I'll add the link to this to the bottom of this in the notes after the show if you
All right.
want to come back. Yeah,
Thank
but thank you. Thank you
you
so
very
much. It's
much.
so nice. Yeah, we really appreciate Val being here. And we thank everybody for being here. I see Dune is here. I see T Barb and Starfish and Sharon Sipe. Thank you very much for all your help. And Ron was here the whole time. You were telling me you'll be on later with him. And no, it's is it tonight or tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, yeah.
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 I
Saturday
know
night.
it's so beautiful. I love hanging out with everyone. They're just so beautiful. So nice energy, you know. It's just it's the way it's the way I've always envisioned it to be. You know,
Oh,
with people is having this type of community and support and guidance and love. It's just beautiful.
yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
I hope
I
everyone's getting ready for the holidays. I don't know how they feel about that. Are you getting ready for the holidays?
Yes, absolutely, and I know that it's really important that we all support each other and you know, just a little bit more around this time of year. And with me, I mean, I'm the sun psychic for a reason because I prefer the sunny days, and I wait every year for December 20th to come up. And I know that as soon as I get to December 20th, then the very next day, the days will start getting longer and I won't be so you know, it's sort of like it sort of feels like a heavy energy or like a tired energy where I
Mhm,
get like a new revived type of energy after December 20th. I know
mhm.
that if I can make it just till the December 20th, then the rest will be increasing for me.
I'm the same way. I've always thought that too. It's like, okay, solstice. I can't wait. But I had no idea. Like I was telling you earlier about the galactic center and the great attractor in December. Those energies are like very. They're so massive, and I guess they are very heavy. You know, but we humanity has made December quite a hard month on us, though. You know, a lot of people struggle through the holidays, and I you know, and this year could be a little because of where we're at planetarily at the moment. Could be a little tough if you haven't been going inside and consulting your heart. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that there's a lot of things happening right around the solstice and, you know, it's so important just to be informed and to take it into consideration and realize that it's not just us, it's not just our energy, it's not just, you
Mhm.
know, our own negative thinking. You know, sometimes we all get into that and just to give ourselves a break. Yeah, be kind to yourself. And
Mhm.
we thank everybody for being here. We love that everybody raises the frequency and raises the energy and holds space for us to have these important conversations. And I know that we love hearing from Val. Maybe next time we'll do just readings because Val is a phenomenal psychic medium reader too. She does a wonderful job. But thank you very much for giving us the update on the astrology. And I
Thank
appreciate you
you.
being here. And thank you, everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow, right? We'll both see you tomorrow.
Yeah. I appreciate you for having me. Thank you, Jean.
You're
Awesome.
welcome.